1051.
Power 1051 is the Breakfast Club. We have a special guest in the building.
Lupe Fiasco.
Grammy Award winner Lupe Fiasco. What up, Lupe?
What's up, y'all?
Well, how's everything?
How y'all doing? Chilling? Feeling good?
Your hair grew long since the last time we seen you. Last time we seen you, you had no hair.
Yeah, it was like a little baby fro.
Yeah.
You understand?
Dreads now? Dwayne Wayne glasses? What's going on?
What? Dreads?
Yo, Dwayne Wayne glasses.
Dwayne Wade glasses. They my like real glasses, you know, and so they prescriptions and I need like glasses to see. So it's like, why not get Dwayne Wade glasses? The Tom Brown Dita joint, so it's just kind of like, I'll take those.
You're a deep guy, so I'm sure you're growing the dreads for a reason, not just shaking the club.
Nah, because, you know, I never had long hair. And it was kind of one of those things where I was afraid when I was in high school or coming up, people would be like, oh, you got long hair. My hair's like naturally nappy or whatever.
Got you.
So now that I'm kind of famous and can do crazy stuff, I was like, I'm going to grow my hair, just see how long it can get.
That's a long process.
You know, like 2 years.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, Lupe, when's the last time we saw you?
Right before the release of Lasers.
Yeah. I was up here with Envy and Charlamange. Yeah. You weren't here.
Oh, I wasn't here?
Last time I was here.
Yes, I'm thinking the last time I saw you was actually when that protest was happening outside the label.
Oh wow, that was
a long time ago.
That was a couple years back.
Yeah,
with Lasers.
Now, how are you in Atlantic now? Y'all good, or it's still F them? They don't know what the hell they doing.
Nah, we coming toward the end of our relationship, you know. So now everybody's kind of like, it's like the going away party. You know, I got like a couple albums left. Actually, after this album, I got one left.
Wow.
So you know, it's all good for now. They give me my room.
Are you gonna stick to the majors? Because a guy like you seems like you could do great independently.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely not going back into the majors. I'm definitely going indie when we're done.
The song "Bitch Bad," actually, I like that song a lot.
Thank you.
And that's the second single, right?
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of I think we're gonna do 6 off of this. Just kind of like different records. It's not really it was never meant to be like a big radio kind of record. Kind of how Lasers was all these kind of big attempts at radio and big radio records. This is more just kind of like a core kind of hip hop joint. So we got a room to throw like 6 records out, you know, not necessarily for radio, but just kind of like shoot a video for this, put this online, put this there.
It's very clever because when you hear the title, it's not what I thought the song was going to be about.
Yeah, I figured that people would know that.
I mean, I knew that, but that's why I had to hear it to be like, okay, what's he talking about? Bitch bad, Lupe.
Yeah, just a little, you know, conversation piece. You know, like with anything that I do, I try and make sure that it's, you know, that it has some type of cultural substance, you know, to it to get people to think. And it's weird because I'll hear it on the radio and then I'll hear like another song come after it that's the complete opposite of that song. You know. And
you do Bitch Bad and then you hear somebody else come out with a song called Bitch Bad. Like, bitches are really bad.
Really.
Like,
really bad. It was like a week after we dropped that, I think Trina, Lola Monroe, and Shauna came out with their joint. It was the exact same title, exact same
Bitch
song.
bad, for real bad.
Like,
now what happened with Pete Rock? You and Pete Rock, you sampled the Pete Rock. It wasn't a Pete Rock's record. You sampled a record that Pete Rock sampled.
Reminisce over you.
No. It was Pete. Let's just keep it plain. It was Pete Rock's record. He produced that record. Tom Scott didn't make that beat, you know. But I still had to go through the same process that Pete went through to clear the record. I had to send my lyrics to Tom Scott and Jefferson Airplane and all that. And you know, he was in tune through the whole process. You know, and that's why it was kind of like you're bugging, you know. And then the way he attacked everything and the way he did it, and then the way we reconciliated, you know, on the street side, and then reconciliated kind of personally, and then what he was supposed to do publicly, he didn't do.
So what was the problem with the record? What was his problem?
I guess he just didn't like it.
I think he said something like he felt offended because of the song that he had made originally was very personal, and to sample that. I was trying to follow.
But you know, you got mad people remake it that did it, that was talking about being in the club popping bottles, and they was reminiscing over their girl leaving them, you know, and it was just kind of like, you know, I honestly didn't mention reminisce in the song except once on purpose because I knew that the record was about Troy and I didn't have any connection to that, you know, and I didn't want to feel like I'm, you know, being a little rude, you know, by interrupting your kind of what you did to grieve for your homie. So that's why I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't put it out there like this is a remake of Troy on purpose because Troy is his homie's name, right? You know, so.
But you know, whenever anybody hears that melody, the first thing they're gonna think is they reminisce over you, and they're gonna think about that record.
Yeah, indeed, and you know. At the end of the day, man, it's kind of like one of those scars that didn't healed up.
So y'all squashed it out?
No.
Never squashed it out? I thought y'all spoke, so y'all didn't speak, nothing was handled, nothing?
That's done. You know, like we tried to speak on it, and what was supposed to happen didn't happen.
Which was?
It was just kind of like, you know, he was supposed to come out, you know, because on the phone it was like, yo, that was whack of me and I feel bad, you know, but if I come out and if I come out and say, if I recant, I'm gonna look crazy. It's like, you got so much ego and so much pride that you're gonna look great. What about me?
Yeah.
You know? So when he said that, I was just kind of like, all right, I'm done.
Right.
And look crazy to who? Like, who do you look crazy to? Like,
I don't know.
how do you feel about the industry right now? Because if you ask me, lyricism is back at the forefront. Like, if you look at the people that's really kind of, I think so. Like, you look at the guys that's really winning right now. You look at the Drakes, the Big
Drake
Seans.
is good. Drake is good.
The Waynes, the Rosses.
Man, Drake is good.
I like 2 Chainz. I personally think he can rap myself.
I don't know, man. I came from a different school. I came from Cannabis, Eminem. To me, that's up here. Even early Jay-Z is up here. So for me, lyrically, it's a different kind of conversation. But I guess if it's just rapping, technically rapping, making rhymes, making words rhyme, and metaphor here, metaphor there, is cool. For me, it's more about technically it's good, beats are good, everything is like good, it's fresh. But to me, the substance is just terrible. So it's like 97% of hip hop is like just terrible.
You gotta love Slaughterhouse.
I don't think a lot of those artists would consider themselves lyricists. I
think it's super lyricist and it's lyricist.
I think they're rappers. You know what I'm saying? I think lyricist is different. I think most def is a lyricist. I think people who actually, where you can tell there's a little bit more of a poetic intent to what they do, as opposed to people who just rap for the sake of rapping. And you can tell a rapper from a lyricist. And that's coming from me as a rapper, and a lyricist, so you can tell the difference.
Did we ever talk about him praying over the white vagina?
Over the vagina?
Did we ever talk about that?
I ain't never talked about it. I mean,
that was supposed to be a secret.
That ain't my thing. And
she told us that off the record.
Sorry, all right. So we'll keep it off the record. I
ain't gonna just talk about who a man out here smashing. That's not me. I don't.
I thought we talked about it before.
No, she told us that off the air, off the record, not to be brought up.
Oh wow, thank you.
Yeah, but don't smash her no more. Yeah.
Thank you for for just, I appreciate you
Yeah. Don't smash her no more.
Thank you very much.
She told us how you prayed over the vagina before you smashed it, which I do too.
Oh good Lord.
No, seriously. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so I remember having a conversation with one of the brothers at the hall, and like this when I started studying the Bible, so I was telling him about Deuteronomy 14:8, how it says you shouldn't even touch the flesh of a dead pig, and he was like, "Oh, you're misconstruing that you got to pray over the pork." And I said, "Well, the Bible says you shouldn't have sex before marriage. So I pray over the vagina."
This place is rampant.
Makes it okay.
It makes it okay.
Rampant with folklore
because it was a Nubian white queen.
I mean, still pray over the box.
Okay.
Rampant folklore mythology. Unsubstantiated things.
No, I won't name a name, but this girl came up here and said that you guys had sex and you prayed because she was white and I don't know. It was a weird story.
No, Lupe, my brother, she did say that.
That was the truth.
So I'm just telling you now, don't smash her no more.
That's outlandishly. That's outlandish. I pull myself from the midst of this chicane.
I don't even know what he said just now.
Me neither, but it's funny.
But moving on, you have Food and Liquor 2 installed September 25th.
Food and Liquor 2, Great American Rap Album Part 1.
Do you think it's smart to tell the label that you're leaving after your contract is up?
Well, they know that. I'm sure they're quite aware that once his contract is up, he's done.
Yeah, it's kind of it's in the air.
Gotcha.
It's in the air, and I think they understand it.
So if they don't work as hard promoting these last 2 albums, you're like, okay, I get it.
Well, I'm not a 360 artist, so I was told that since I'm not a 360 artist, I may not get promoted anyway. Yeah, it sucks, but
for them, it's a business. They're probably saying to themselves, look, we make more money off these artists because we get money from their merchandising, from their touring, from everything.
They should have thought about that when they signed them a couple of years ago.
Yeah, when I was in 05,
They didn't have that, but did people really do 360 deals back in 05?
There was a couple.
But it
wasn't institutionalized like it is now, where almost everybody you see these instant millionaires, signing away touring, merchandise, publishing, everything under the sun. So
it was interesting though, because your fans had that rally for you outside Atlantic Records. They were upset about the album, and I came out there too, right? And even Leroy Cohen came outside with the boombox.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't be thinking that'd be real. Like that really happened.
I was there. That really happened.
It's just it's for me. You come to that point, in the industrial hip hop, I've done everything. I've achieved my accolades. I've sold my 1 million records. I've done this. I've done that. For me, I never want to do the same thing twice, and I always want to progress and do new things. And the industrial Lupe Fiasco is kind of done.
As an established artist, what's your mind state when they call you and say, "Hey, we want a 360 you up. You want a piece of your touring. We want a piece of your merchandising." Like, huh?
So you're bugging. Like you're bugging. if you're gonna do it, I asked for my masters. That's why I don't have a 360 deal, because the negotiation was like, look, you ain't gotta give me no money. You know, you can take half of the touring and half of the publishing, but I want all my masters. You know, and I was kind of like, huh?
Now you're bugging.
Now you're crazy right now. You're bugging right now. It's like, you know.
They probably respect your artistry and think you're a great artist, but they are trying to figure out how can we get some more of his money from him.
Yeah, but they already make the lion's share.
Right.
You know, when you're already making it's just not fair. This business has never been fair. You know, and to kind of, for me to even be naive enough to come in and say, hey, I'm gonna instill some fairness because I'm such and such artist, so I bring such and such social commentary to this. You know, it doesn't really matter. You know, at the end of the day, because it's based to be unfair. It's based for you to just get yours, and then we get all of yours, kind of a situation.
Now, we've been having this convo recently about quote unquote real hip hop. What is real hip hop, and is there such a thing called real hip hop?
It was, you know, depending on how you look at it. You know, what vantage point you look at it as it being a political, social force. You know, to me, that was real hip hop. You know, where when you said something, it had the potential to cause a riot. You know, it had a potential to rearrange an entire generation's way of thinking, you know, into a positive direction. You know, I think we lost that decades ago.
But I don't feel like Public Enemy or KRS-One or Poor Righteous Teachers went in the studio and said, hey, we're about to make a real hip-hop record. They just made music.
Yeah, but then, you know, as you got more and more of it and you went away from the source, you know, it got, you know, not that it got diluted, but you had people who recognized what was original and what came before them, and then they wanted to progress on top of that. And then like with this thing with Pete Rock, you know, progressing off of what he did is not considered good. You know, it's not considered real or heavy as whack or it's this or it's that, you know. So
but do you think it's music sometimes? And the reason I say that is I don't believe in real hip hop. I just believe in good music. And the first time I heard your record, this was way back when. This is when nobody Lupe. He was kind of like the weirdo coming out.
Yeah.
And without the drugs,
as he points to himself.
Yeah, points to himself. And I remember getting the record, and I played the record. At first, people didn't get it. They didn't like it, but then they caught on to the record, and that's the first time we ever met. I never met you before. I just liked the record, so that's what I kind of think music is now. It's not a real hip hop; it's just good music. And at the time when you put out that song, I didn't know who you were. You just made good music, and I think some of these artists make good music, whether it's
Two Chainz,
busting somebody in the head, or it's talking about daughters. I just think it's all good music, you know.
But when you do that, when you say it's music, you open it up to all music. I barely listen to hip hop, to be honest. I can skim through something, or you know, you hear it a little bit, but when it comes to music, I listen to jazz, I listen to blues, you know, I listen to rock and roll, you know, I listen to dance music, and hip hop is like sixth, you know, simply because either the messages that are in the blues or the messages that are in the jazz music or reggae, I listen to a lot of reggae. The positivity is what I want to hear. You know, it doesn't matter how it comes.
But you DJ too, so what do you play when you DJ?
I play dance music. I play EDM music. You know, so I might play, but I do play like I'll play Future. You know, I'll play Same Damn Time because that's like my
You like Future?
I like that song. I like that song.
He's a dope lyricist,
I like the beat. Well, I like the beat. I'm not playing it for lyrics. You know, play acapella if that was okay.
So what got you into dance music?
But they love Future in Atlanta.
He makes
I was
good
there.
records,
I witnessed that.
You know.
So what got you into dance music? I can't see Lupe Fiasco kick push lasers playing.
Man, you go to Australia, big day out, 2010. You know, you see the Bloody Beetroots, you know, playing some joint, and you see kids. You know, you see 30,000 kids literally ripping the grass off the ground, throwing it in the air, mosh pits, circle pits, everything going crazy. You know, and then you go to the rapper stage, and it's kind of like, you know, we're just gonna chill, you know. But when you see that energy, and when I perform, I like energy. You know, I like to be, even when I go to a performance or go to a concert, I like to see energy. You know, I like to be in it, jumping up and down, doing the whole thing.
So you actually DJ, or do you just host?
Nah, DJ.
So does that mean
my
you would
partner just had a residency at the Palazzo in Vegas that just ended. Got a couple shows coming up in Dubai, a couple of DJ gigs coming up in South Africa.
There's good money in DJing that dance music.
Yeah, it's good, you know.
So you get no inspiration from hip hop whatsoever, or you just draw from the past all the time? Like nothing that's going on now?
It's rare, like Mos Def. I get a lot of inspiration from Mos Def. A lot of inspiration still from Nas. You know, but it's hard to find. You know, MF Doom.
You're still human though, Lupe. I mean, the yin and the yang in life is righteousness and ratchetness. You just mentioned Future.
Yeah.
So there got to be some ratchet tunes you like on the low.
I like Future. I like Same Damn Time. It's just that when you don't have to listen to it, and that's one of the things that I never internalize. You don't have to be obligated to rock with hip hop because you're black and you come from the hood and that's what you grew up like. Nah, I ain't gotta listen to this. You know.
I love pop music. Katy Perry's one of my favorite artists.
Oh yeah, she's not. I don't like her.
I love her lyrics.
It is what it is. But you know, at the end of the day, man, I don't feel like why you know, you don't have to listen to my music. You know, why do you have to subject yourself to such this onslaught of just negativity every day? You know, that's why I can't listen to the radio. It's like I can listen to the radio for one day and wait 3 months and then turn it on again and get another dose just to make sure. Like I listen to Fox News, but like the Patriot, like the crazy news station where they really go in every like couple months just to remind myself that it's still nonsense out there. And that's the only reason I listen to it. It's like, yeah, that's still crazy.
Besides
a bunch of crazy white people.
Yeah, you just turn the Breakfast Club on every morning. We remind you that it's
oh yeah, y'all definitely are very ratchet.
So does this mean that you're going to be having dance music on your album?
No.
Since you're...
No. It's not.
I'm just wondering.
I don't really merge the worlds like that. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little influence in certain things because you want to, when you perform, for me, when you perform, I definitely want to have something that at least 1 or 2 joints where you can get people jumping in the midst of recollecting and, you know, kind of just hands in the air kind of thing. So just to round out the performance side of it. But I keep those worlds separate, you know?
Okay.
A couple of years ago,
bang chicks and stuff though, right? Like you know,
Stuff a lot, the myth.
Get head in the DJ booth.
He's had girlfriends and everything. Cut it out, of course.
Nonsensically. So anyway, you were saying, Envy?
Back to the album.
I forgot what I was gonna say. It was something about positivity until you just said get head in the DJ booth. A mountain. You climbed a mountain recently, a couple of years ago.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Oh no, that wasn't it. We talked about that before. Yeah, you did.
And my homegirl Santi Go was there on that.
She surely was. Yeah. Shout out to Santi.
How was that? I heard it was hard to breathe. You climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and you actually have to go through months of training right beforehand.
Yeah, but
why would you want to do that?
You can't because there's little kids in Africa who don't have clean water who drink off the side of the road. And it
was to raise money and awareness.
We literally driving, and you see this puddle on the side of the road, and then you see people like walking to it with buckets. It's like, yo, are they finna drink that?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, there's no faucets or water fountains around here. So it's just like, oh yeah, we gotta climb this mountain now.
Wow.
And it's hard to breathe because the altitude is so high, so you had to undergo, this is what Santi was telling me, all kinds of training where you have to like... But
you can't really prepare for it. That's the one thing that they told you. Like, you can get physically fit, you can do all that stuff, but what determines whether you're gonna do it is how your body actually acclimates to the elevation when you get up there. You know, there's no way to kind of mimic that. It was cool. It was alright.
How did your body acclimate to it? Was there any issues? Because I know it's like hard to breathe, and then some people people could die doing that.
Yeah, what they do is they tell you to kind of pace yourself, and they have like these breathing techniques and stuff like that. And then it was like these altitude sickness pills and stuff that we had to take. So you know, if you stuck to kind of the rules, you were good. But even sticking to the rules, it was like people who bodies just didn't naturally acclimate to being up there, and people had to get carried down the mountain. It was
how long did it take?
Took us 7 days. 5 days up, 2 days down.
Did you do any writing while you was walking? Did you think about rap at all?
We just having fun, man. I was with some of the most, you know, talented people and luminaries from around the world, photographers, actresses, different people. Just so it was more just kind of like having powwows and talking about Africa and talking about the world.
And you have to poo outside also.
Yeah, they definitely dookied outside. Yeah. Jessica Biel definitely was dookie.
That makes everybody seem so much more human. We're all pooping outside.
Yeah, it was a lot of peeing behind rocks and dookie and everywhere. It's kind of crazy.
Did you peek at any girls when it was peeing?
No, it was kind of nasty. Nothing was sexy about the mountain at all. You know, nothing sexy.
Would you do it again?
Indeed.
I'm thinking about it.
Indeed. I definitely would. My man Kenna is actually putting together part Summit on the Summit 2 of that.
We should do it, guys.
It's a really good look, man.
I'm good.
Go see Africa, help some kids.
Now, a couple of years ago, one of your partners were locked up. Did they ever come out, and was that thing ever settled, or whatever happened with that?
Nah, he's still. We're still working on different appeals and different lawyers. It's just a real complicated situation. Shout out to my man Chili, free Chili.
He got some crazy numbers, right?
He got 44 years. You know, and just every day it's make sure that the lawyers is good, make sure he good. He had a little accident in there, so he's a little under the weather, but you know, he's good.
Okay. All right.
So Rihanna walks in your hotel room, butt ass naked, right?
Oh boy.
Oh God.
And wants to give you something. What do you do, Lupe?
So anyway,
you know, he prays over it.
He prays over it and you tap that ass.
There you go.
Come on, man.
But Lupe,
and God would understand.
Lupe Fiasco.
But you know, Charlamagne been doing this to me forever. When we first did Wendy Williams a long time ago, and I was like, oh, word, and it was like, yo, he's serious. So
you know what though, I like meeting brothers like you because, like I always say, you know, the yin and the yang of life is righteousness and rashness. Sometimes I'm ratchet, sometimes I'm righteous.
Mostly ratchet.
Mostly ratchet.
90%
but when I see you, most of the time, you righteous. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to have these conversations with you to say it's got to be some type of balance. Like I sat down with Minister Farrakhan one time and I asked him, where is the balance with hip hop and Islam? Like where do you know between the spiritual and this side, the savage side? Is there a balance? And nobody can seem to give me a straight answer.
No, there's definitely you submit to things that you know that temptation is a mother. Temptation is not necessarily sin, but it's there, you know. And there's, like I have a huge Ferrari collection. I talk all of this. Yeah, I'm gonna climb a mountain and help these kids in Africa, and you don't drink from puddles on the side of the road. Then I'll go, you know, splurge on 10 cars.
What Ferraris you have?
I just sold my 575 and my 456, and picked up a Daytona coupe and this Austin Healey. They're a little bit. They're not Ferraris, but I got a 412 and a 400. So it's like an 83 and an 86. You know, but I'm kind of like I'm scheming on like what my next piece is.
None of the new ones.
No, I drove them. Like I drove the FF. I went to Australia and they laid it out for me. Drove all the new cars. I just don't feel the passion, you know. And then you can't get too far into the old ones because you'll be out of 100,000 fixing the transmission or something like that. So you got to really
above
be
my head right
clear. Yeah. Sorry about that. Apologize.
Sorry.
My only demons are vagina, liquor, alcohol.
You back to
liquor
and alcohol is the same thing.
Vagina, liquor, and marijuana. Those are my only demons.
Oh my goodness. Well, Food and Liquor 2 in store September 25th.
Yeah.
Lupe Fiasco, The Breakfast Club. Appreciate you hanging with us, bro.
Indeed. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.